living right next to this beautiful temple. It's called Ganteshwar Mandir. You may have seen it on a Pokestop in my video.
Alrighty guys, so this clip right here was actually from our last night there in Mumbai, and I wanted to include it because this was actually going on pretty much every single night, and I didn't get to record it mainly because I was sleeping most of the time. Alright, I did what I needed to do during the day, and as soon as we got back home, the rest of the YouTubers started editing, and I pretty much just went to bed. So that's probably the main reason, or one of the main reasons why it's taking me so long to upload this video. And anyways, if you're here to know whether or not Salamance is worth powering up, then I suggest you go to the timestamp. If not, then enjoy my trip to Mumbai. Bye bye.
A king's sister named Holika. So to bring all the evilness from outside, she burned herself in this Holi. So after that we started celebrating this Holi to destroy all the evilness from around our side. And when we burn Holi, so we take round of this Holi. So it takes all our unluckiness, evilness from our inside, from our soul, from everything.
Alrighty guys, so before we move on forward, I feel like I need to explain the significance of lighting this fire. Now, Holi is a 2-day festival. It always starts on the full moon, and the festival signifies the arrival of spring, repairing broken relationships, and letting bygones be bygones. So the first evening is known as Holika Dahan, also known as the burning of the demon Holika, and here is the story behind that. So there once was an evil king by the name of this right here, because I have no idea how to pronounce that. Now this king was granted with 5 special powers, which pretty much made him immortal, and because of that the king became very arrogant, so much so that he thought he was a god, and he wanted everyone to worship just him as such. However, his very young son refused to worship his father as a god. Instead, his loyalty remained towards Lord Vishnu, an actual god. Now this obviously enraged the father, because Lord Vishnu is actually his worst enemy. He really hates him, okay? So he wanted to change his son's mind, and one of the ways that he tried to do it was by placing many traps. For example, one of the traps was getting the young boy to fall into the Grand Canyon, which he did. Thankfully, Lord Vishnu actually saved them, and this actually increased the loyalty towards Lord Vishnu even more. So after many tries, many traps in trying to get rid of his son, or to change his mind, he ended up calling his evil sister Holika. So he was like, yo sis Holika, listen up, I need a favor, man, okay? I need you to go to a stack of wood, sit on top of it, get my son, sit him on your lap, then light the fire and burn him to death. And she was able to do this because she had a special blanket which protected her from the fire. So she moved on with her plan. She sat on the stack of wood, she got the young boy, set him on her lap, She had her blanket, and as soon as she lit the fire, the flames raised up, and the blanket actually flew off of her, wrapping around the boy, protecting him, and burning Holika alive. So there it is. Whenever we light this fire and we start praying, we're pretty much just praying our evil away, right? And then we just go around, throw water and salt to cool down the fire, which, by the way, I do remember whenever I used to be a cook and the grill would catch on fire, we would actually use salt. Well, first thing we would use was baking soda, but if we didn't have any baking soda, we would use salt to cool down the fire. So there it is. And if you're probably wondering what exactly happened to the evil king, well, Lord Vishnu actually got tired of his BS and he killed him. The end. That's it. He got tired of the evil king and he ended up killing him. That's it. Simple as that. End of story. Alright, so this gentleman right here, guys, he was actually very, very welcoming. In fact, everybody in Mumbai was extremely welcoming. He actually ended up giving us some food. He was actually the one that asked us if we wanted to light the fire, and ultimately I was the one that said yes, right? So I wanted to point this out because I feel like it's very important. Later on throughout the night, I asked him why he didn't have any paint on his face, okay? And he told me that because he was a Muslim, he was not allowed to do that. They actually gained my respect because that right there tells you that it doesn't matter if you have a different opinion about something, whether it's religion, politics, whether you're gay, straight, black or white, we could still, coexist with one another. And I just feel like the world needs more individuals like this, right? That even though we don't necessarily share the same opinion, we could still respect one another enough to get along. So I just wanted to point that out. Well, you like spicy food?
It's amazing.
It's amazing. It's a good thing I'm down with spicy food. And that was pretty much it, guys. The rest of the night we were just there celebrating with everybody else. We got our face painted, we ate some food, and again, we just pretty much enjoy the festivals and prepare for the next day. Well, hello there. If you guys haven't noticed already, I'm here in Mumbai. So give me 1 second. Alright, so obviously we're not in Mumbai anymore. We are here back home, and let's go ahead and quickly go over whether or not Salamance is worth powering up, shall we? So for those that want to know the quick answer, the answer is yes, if you enjoy being in second place, and if you want to use something other than Rayquaza, because that's exactly what it sounds like. The only reason why Salamance is the second best dragon type Pokemon in the game right now is because Palkia and Dialga do not have Outrage. Simple as that. Okay, so let's go ahead and cover a few stats here. So Salamance maxes out at 3749. Okay, it has an attack of 277, which is pretty good. Defense is 168 and stamina is 216. Rayquaza maxes out at 3835. Attack is 284, higher. Defense is 170, higher. And stamina is 213. So it only loses by 3 points. Okay. Now Palkia maxes out at 3991. Attack is 280. Defense is 215 and stamina is 189. And Dialga maxes out at 4038. Attack is 275, not as high as Salamance, but defense and stamina, well, at least defense is higher than Salamance, and stamina is right up there. So like I was saying, the only reason why Salamance is in second place is because it's able to learn Outrage. Okay, now how exactly does Salamance compare to Rayquaza when it comes to rating? Well, check this out. Let's say we're going up against a raid boss Origin form Giratina, right? If you take a look here, obviously Rayquaza is number one. All right, it took 30 Rayquaza, it took out Giratina in 579.1 seconds, and then when it came to Salamance with Dragon Tail and Outrage, it took 596.3 seconds, and it also took the same amount of Pokemon, right? With that being said, however, you do have to keep in mind that even though Salamence is not the best Dragon type Pokemon in the game right now, it does require rare candies to max out Rayquaza, right? And since Community Day is pretty much around the corner and we're going to be getting a lot of spawns, it is going to be easier to max a Salamence than you would a Rayquaza, or at least for a lot of people anyways, because if you're a hardcore player, then you probably don't need to grind more Rayquazas because you already got plenty of rare candies and plenty of candies to max out a Rayquaza, or you probably already have a bunch of Rayquaza maxed out. Now, am I going to max out a Salamence? Probably not, because I simply do not need it. Alright, I have 2 or 3 Rayquaza already maxed out. I have a Hundo, right? And I have like 3 of them that are 98%, and I have plenty of candies, and I simply don't need them right now, right? And the only way that I would probably max out a Salamence is if it was a shiny and it had really good IVs. Otherwise, I'm probably not going to do it. But then again, that's just my opinion. That's just the way I play the game. Remember, the whole point of these videos is not to discourage you from powering up your favorite Pokemon. The whole point is to teach you, help you make better decisions when it comes to using your Stardust and candies. Simple as that. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video from Mumbai tomorrow. Okay, bye bye.